What's up guys, welcome to the video. Today is the Q&A video. I've been requested this for a while. I often do Q&As on my Instagram, which you guys can follow right here. I just kind of put out, everyone asks me a question, they'll DM me and I can just get back onto my Instagram. I try to do those at least once a week just so that questions don't end up building up. Anyway, I hadn't done one for a while, so I thought I'd do one for the YouTube. This may be split into two parts. I'm not sure how long it will take. I've got a lot of questions. Which is really cool to see, guys, because I remember when I first started doing these years ago, I had like 10 questions and I used to have to like message like all my friends and be like, yo, just comment on this, so it looks like I've got some questions. But we've actually got questions today, guys, which is awesome. So I'm not going to do these in any particular order. I'm just going to go through them and get as many as I can. Anything that is not very applicable, I'll probably just leave it out. If not, I'm going to try and get through every single one. So if I do miss your comment, guys, comment down below and then I'll reply there, because you know there's a lot of questions and I don't want this have to be like a half-an-hour video. First question comes from Will Holmes. You guys know Will Holmes from the last video. Your fitness goals in 10 years, where do you see yourself? Honestly, I've kind of really thought about this like a lot despite this question, and I want to be an IFBB pro naturally. Said it right here first, guys. Yeah, that's my goal in the next kind of 5 years. I'm not sure, in 10 years is quite a long time, I'm not really sure. I'm more of an in the now kind of person, so I don't think too far, but I do want to have a fully functioning online coach business with coaches under my own wing as well, and just offering a very valuable service. I do want to be a really good coach, and I do want to have like great athletes in amazing competitions, but I want to be able to offer value more than anything. Jordan Parthington, never seen you do deadlifts, or why not? I just do stiff legs with dumbbells. I actually just never got set them in my program originally from Jordan, but I actually wouldn't do them anyway if I program myself, because they put a lot of stress on my lower back. And I know that when I'm doing these maximal workouts that I am doing, like the pressure that a deadlift can put on your lower back is a lot. And because I've had lower back problems for a long time, I just don't do it. There's no point. You know, you can build your muscles other ways, and that's the great thing about bodybuilding. There's more than one ways to skin a banana. This is one of my clients actually, guys, Fabian, I'm gonna say Merberg, no, I don't know. Do you stretch on a regular basis? Yep, so I try and set myself an hour every day to roll out and stretch. I've only just started doing this, so it's not regular basis just yet, but an hour a day, stretching and foam rolling. Small to swole. How does bodybuilding make you a better person? Bodybuilding makes me a better person because it allows me to have a goal. It allows me to understand what it is to reach a goal, and it makes me understand discipline to reach the goal. So for me, it's been very valuable in setting goals outside of bodybuilding. For example, the online coaching business, for example, businesses outside. Like, I've been very focused on those because I know how focused you need to be. So that's the best thing for me. Matt LeMay, 2 questions here. How many days missing creatine until it becomes an issue, i.e. ATP reduced? I actually don't know. I've read somewhere that it's about 2 weeks for creatine to leave your system, so I assume kind of after a week or so, your body probably stop being as saturated with it. So maybe it'll become, it's never gonna be a problem anyway, because creatine's not like a crazy improvement drug, but you know. And then, how are you so dense and muscular? 6 out of 10. You know. TWM Rigdon, how important is macro timing for the average lifter? It's not crazy important, guys. There is definitely a pyramid. In fact, I'll put the pyramid on the screen right now. The first thing is going to be calories. The second thing is going to be your macronutrient breakdown. And then the third thing, fourth thing down the line is going to be meal timing and nutrient timing. So don't go crazy about it. You don't, like, from an efficiency point of view, yes, it's better to kind of time your nutrients, but if you're not looking to just go like 1000% on this, don't worry about it. Harry Simmons 69, do you ever drink or do any drugs during competition season? No. And I'm gonna leave it there. TP Pump, do heavy deadlifts affect the desired small men's physique waist? So this is a huge debate in the industry. Here is my take on it. Deadlifting will build the muscles that it activates. The same with doing ab crunches, the same with doing side bends and all that stuff. You will build the muscles that you are targeting if you progressively overload them. However, we do have our waist pretty much like set in stone, like you're not gonna get, like, your hips aren't gonna come in, like your hip bones are where they are, they're not gonna suddenly start coming in. So that is always set in stone anyway. The muscle around it, like obviously the thicker the muscle you have there, the bigger your waist is gonna look. However, I'm so sure that Kai Green's waist is like 38 inches, yeah? But because he's so big up top, it doesn't make a difference. Bodybuilding is an illusion sport, so it actually doesn't matter too much how small your waist is, it kind of matters how big you are up top. But small waist just allows you to be a little bit smaller, which is great. The process RD, my weigh-ins every morning fluctuate, but average is still going down. Is that fine? Yes, yes it is. Always take an average. Water intake, sleep, carb intake, all of these things can just like fluctuate weights. The time you eat, if you eat late at night, you're gonna be heavier in the morning. Like it can fluctuate so much, so definitely take an average. How do you resist the temptation of cheating on your diet? I just have my goal and I have my obsession, and I'm not gonna stop till I get there. And I think that's something that people need to understand. The people who complain and become very food focused aren't thinking about the longer term goal. Like I'm still thinking about that IFBB Pro card that I wanna get 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, however many years down the line is, I'm thinking about that. So I don't, like, so I will put the processes in place now to account for that later on, so that's how. Been cutting for 3 weeks and dropping weight consistently, however this week I've been hovering and not going down. Any advice? I guess it kind of depends on where you're at. Have you made any changes yet? Maybe you've exhausted that calorie deficit, so maybe you can increase the calorie deficit pretty much. Maybe wait another week if you're not in a rush, then you can make a decision from there, easy. What's your favorite set rep range? I do love the heavy sets that I do, but not at the moment because they tend to go down a little bit. But when I'm eating enough, the heavy sets. When I'm not, always the lighter sets, 10 to 12 reps. Like, I love that rep range. I get such a good pump from it. Your thoughts on GDAs, glucose deposable agents, supplements for your off season, and do they work? So I actually didn't know what this was until yesterday, and I googled it and asked a friend as well. I asked one of the guys who DM'd me. That is things that kind of help the uptake of carbohydrates. So Matador is one by Anabolic Designs. I've never tried one, so I can't actually comment on that, but that is what it is for you guys that don't know. What supplements do you take and how do you take it? I take omegas, I take Bio Superhuman, and I take a multivitamin and creatine. I just have all of it in the morning, except for the creatine I have intra. Adam Brazier Fitness, very good question. Likelihood of you jumping on gear wagon in the next 3 years of competing. Right now it's a no, but I know that kind of year to year things do change. Like if the progress isn't enough for me right now this year to get my goal relatively soon, like the thought's gonna have to come in, the actual thought of it is gonna have to come in, because like my goal at the moment is IFBB Pro naturally. So I don't think that will happen in the next 3 years. I think it will actually take me 3 years or 4 years to get big enough and thick enough to be able to get an IFBB Pro card. And then once I'm an IFBB Pro, I'll assess it from there. But I would have to get on steroids to be able to compete at the Olympia. I'm gonna say that right now. But right now it's a no. This is from Sammy. Any tips for those guys whose girlfriends are in the dog end of prep? Whatever she says is right. Whatever she says, do it. Because if you find that eggshell that you step on, you're gonna get snapped down. No, but seriously guys, like, if you're someone who competes as well, this is why me and Sammy work very well. Like, I've competed, I've felt like shit, I've not wanted to give her attention, I've snapped at her, I've been stupid to her. Like, it's her turn now. Like, do you understand? Like, she had to put up with it, now I can put up with it. But the only thing is that every time we put up with it, it gets easier and easier and easier because we understand where each other's at, we communicate better, and we really just put our processes in to not make the snapping happen, not make the arguments happen. That's what we try and do. Reps at Jack, what sources, etc., websites, podcasts do you use to learn or research topics? So at the moment, I love the Joe Rogan podcast. I look at a lot of kind of nutrient stuff on there, but also just non-nutrient stuff, non-fitness based. AJ Morris, one of my good friends, amazing podcast, and he has so many episodes that you could just go back and watch, and they're an hour each, so that's beautiful. Shredded by Science have a podcast. Eric Helms, 3DMJ, Tiny Titan 84, I remember by Instagram name, I can't remember the actual channel name. London Real, Brian Rose, Lane Norton also has a podcast as well. Like, there's so many different podcasts you can find. You can literally just go on health and look at the top ones. Jamie Alderton as well. There's so many. So just ask around it, and you'll be able to find out and use any of those ones I've just suggested as well. So a few questions from my Snapchat. This one's from Jakey699. Question for the video: have you or would you ever hop on? Also, do you ever think you've competed against someone who could have used steroids in the past? So, would you ever hop on? I have never hopped on. I've never taken any kind of steroid. I've never taken anything illegal in bodybuilding. Would I ever hop on? I definitely think I'm going to try steroids at some point in my life. I will do one cycle just to see what it's like. And when I get to a later age, I've always said this, like kind of 45 plus, and my natural testosterone levels drop, I will probably take testosterone just to improve my health, my life, my blood pressure, all of that kind of stuff. Like a mild dose of testosterone has been proven to be pretty beneficial. Testosterone replacement therapy it's called. Don't take my advice as doctor's advice, by the way. This is a major key for this video. Why does salt intake matter on a diet? It doesn't actually matter too much on a diet as long as you're consistent. The only reason why I say consistent is because if you do alter your salt intake up and down, your weight will just fluctuate and it becomes a fucking mindfuck when you're trying to lose weight. But if you're bulking, don't even worry about it. Is the stair stepper considered low impact cardio? It kind of depends on how intense you're doing it. What types of cardio machines do you recommend that are low impact? Like a walk is pretty good. A bike is very good for joints. To be honest, anything that you kind of bounce up and down on, like the stepper, like I do find that it's quite a lot of, you know, like a thump through your body. And I can only imagine that if you're doing that, for example, I've been doing that 20 minutes a day for the last week. Like, my knees don't hurt, but I can feel my knees working, you know? So if you can feel your knees working and then you do that for like 6 months or whatever it is, like I feel like it was not great for you, yeah? You can do better things. Quality gains. Have you ever had a stubborn client, for example, couldn't figure out his correct macros and couldn't get him to lose weight fast enough? Have you had success with all of your clients that wanted to lose weight? So I couldn't really put a number on it, but definitely like some of my clients, like I'll give them macros or I'll give them a meal plan and they're not moving towards their goal, you know? So if they're trying to lose weight, they actually put on weight, or if they're trying to gain weight, they start losing weight. It's because the macros aren't right. It's because there is no magic calculator that just goes, okay, you there looking at the camera, I know exactly how much you need to eat. That doesn't work. That's not like, we can take as many variables from your life as I can, and I can try to get the most accurate guess, but it's still a guess. Yeah, but all that does is it gives us a baseline. So I can do a week on a plan. Say you're trying to gain weight and you start losing weight, I know you need to eat more, so we just bump up the calories. Like, it's easy, you know. And sometimes it takes a couple of weeks. This is why I always urge my clients to go for kind of 8-week preps or 12-week coaching 8-week coaching packages or 12-week coaching packages, because a lot of the first month is just finding the right meal plan and finding the right amount of calories. It really is, and it does take time. So the guys that stay with me now who have renewed their 3-month ones, like those are the guys who are getting results. Those are the guys who are finally in the swing of things. We've got the perfect calorie balance, and all we need to do is adjust up or down, and they're going to gain or lose weight. It's very, very easy. It's very, very beneficial to do it in the long term. So this is one of the problems of online coaching and doing kind of shorter offers of like 4 weeks, is like someone can do the 4 weeks, only notice like half a kilo loss if they're trying to lose weight, and they're like, oh, this guy only lost me half a kilo in 4 weeks. It's like, yeah, but for 2.5 weeks he was trying to find the right macros, and then they got the right macros, then you start losing weight. So it's kind of difficult, and it kind of comes over quite bad sometimes, which is why I always urge it. But I always explain that to my clients, so I do my best in that situation. Do you ever do dirty food or just clean all year round? Definitely do dirty food, because I just love food, love flavor. I love trying different cuisines. I just love experiencing new things in my mouth. That was weird. Okay guys, last few questions from my Facebook. Aaron Scott, what is your opinion on how hard enhanced lifters, aka taking steroids, must train in comparison to naturals? Do you believe that juice guys work just as hard, or that ultimately drugs can do the majority of the work as long as the guys go to the gym and do half-assed workouts? No, you need to work just as hard. Don't get me wrong, you'll build muscle much easier taking steroids, but you've got to make the most of it. You know, if you're taking it, you're doing it for a good reason, and you need to make the most of it. So, no, you need to train just as hard, 100%. Knee sleeves and wraps, useful tool, or simply there to help people get an advantage to lift more with no extra effort due to the bounce? Nah, like safety first, guys. I'm not about the ego. I'm not about 1 rep maxes. I'm not into that life. I'm just into longevity. I do want to, like, you do have an effect on longevity weightlifting anyway, but I'd rather put in the processes to kind of extend that. So I'll wear a belt whenever my back feels dodgy. I'll wear a belt. I don't care about having a weak core, because I train my core, so I'm not worried about that. I wear knee wraps because I don't want my knees to get sore. You know, if I feel anything in my knees, I'll stop. That's the way it is. Like I'm not about being a broken mechanism. I've been pretty injury free, except for a few niggles, for a long time now, and I'm trying to stay like that. You know, touch wood, touch wood. So yeah, guys, that is every question answered. I hope it's not too long. I'll try and make it a little bit snappy so you guys don't get too bored. And yeah, if there's any other way that I can present these Q&A videos to, comment down below and I'll let you know. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, which is hopefully coming very soon. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm a new little weigh-in today. I'm excited to update you in the next video. I think I'll just do a prep update. And I'll see you very soon, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.